we were dealing with circumstances existing already, given and transmitted from the past, quote unquote. The triumphs and setbacks of the past had come to bear in the outcome of the 2024 national and provincial elections. Despite the fact that 30 years review report compiled by government at the end of the sixth administration and 30 years of democracy could speak of strides hardly achieved in any similar post-colonial society and within their first 30 years of freedom, there was nonetheless the legacy looming large of outstanding economic inequality compounded by corruption, factionalism and division within the ANC and the union movement. Economic inequality is what is holding back economic growth, as the majority of our people are kept out of the mainstream economy. The economic disengagement by the majority of our people, whilst serving the interest of those seeking to preserve the legacy of the past in terms of race, gender, and class, it nonetheless betrays the very objectives of robust economic activities and therefore of economic growth. We have previously attempted to bridge the economic divide through measures such as employment equity, triple BEE, and so forth, but all these were undermined either by corruption or legal and systemic opposition from those who have monopolized our economy. The answer to this is radical and rapid socio-economic transformation, hence the importance, among others, of the Land Expropriation Act. Many workers bear the burden of extended families or diminishing real income as the cost of living spirals upwards. Unless we create more employment and economic opportunities, the livelihood of our people will continue to face harsh economic realities. That is why we must accelerate doing away with the tender system and ensure all municipality workers are employed in decent and secure jobs. Municipalities must be capacitated to execute all the service delivery tasks, especially easy tasks, such as water provision through tankers, which, as you know, has been at the center of corruption and poor service delivery. Likewise, we must accelerate doing away with the labor brokers who feed on the hard sweat of our people. Similarly, we must confront the criminal challenges of extortionists who blatantly rob our people of their hard-earned entrepreneurial undertakings. These criminals are partly responsible for poor economic growth in areas where the majority of the working class live, as our people are afraid to invest. We fully support the decisive police approach to violent criminals who rob our people and undermine our economy. Our tasks as the current leadership of the ANC was premised, firstly, on acknowledging that many things went wrong on many fronts, and that our starting point must be organizational renewal and rebuilding. We then went about strengthening structures, including the Integrity Commission, and setting up frameworks that will ensure we have an effective revolutionary movement capable of delivering on the promise for a better life for all. However, the ANC cannot achieve the objectives of creating a better life for all working alone. Hence the ever importance of SAMWU and the alliance in general. That is why we maintain that unity of purpose among the motive forces for change is indispensable, or else we may as well close shop. As we meet here today, it is our submission to you as the ANC that we must, all of us, heed the call for unity, without which we are variously and collectively doomed. Arrogance or miscalculation we cannot survive on our own. The result of this is weaker ANC, weaker COSATU, weaker SACP, and weaker SAMWU and weaker alliance. We need, as leaders of the ANC, SACP and COSATU and SAMWU appreciate that at the height of adversity, it is not the time to give in to divisions. That is why we labored hard for the unity of SAMWU, leading to their national conference that has elected the current leadership. Differences of views and even on strategies and tactics must never be excuse for fracturing neither the ANC nor the union movement. When each alliance component is weakened, the others cannot join the hovering political vultures and counter-revolutionaries, but rather seek ways to strengthen each other. As we must convene the Alliance Political Council soon, we must evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of each of the alliance partners and seek ways to build stronger and united organization. This is partly the basis of our bilateral engagement with the SACP, COSATU and SAMWU to build a stronger alliance and stronger components capable of delivering on the promise of the NDR. True leaders and revolutionaries do not collapse when the going gets tough. We dust ourselves up and get back to the business of driving revolutionary change. For that is the very reason for our existence. It is what we live for. We must move on from the disappointment of 2024 national and provincial elections. We are now focusing on 26 local government elections. Our people want efficient and effective service delivery. They want a better life for themselves and their children. SAMWU is better poised to spearhead rapid and effective service delivery. There is none within the progressive cycles with a better appreciation of the challenges involved on service delivery than SAMWU. And perhaps we must create a hotline between SAMWU and the ANC, wherein all challenges pertaining to workers as well as service delivery are speedily attended to. Where workers' rights are undermined, we must respond with deserved agency. Similarly, where service delivery is a shortcoming, we must respond with a deserved agency. We have the local government intervention unity in the ANC, to which I would propose that you fully participate in. We must move beyond words and intention and walk the talk. As the ANC, we fully appreciate that workers are not mere nuts and bolts in a production machinery, but human beings with human and worker rights. Issues like non-payment of workers in the municipalities must not just be resolved, must be sorted out with immediate effect. The essence of the alliance is premised on the fact that the interest of the workers are tied with the interest of the ANC, which is to improve the livelihood of all our people across race, gender, and class. Whilst the ANC is not a class organization, it is nonetheless biased towards the working class. And this is by virtue of the fact that the motive forces for change are by and large constituted of the working class. As we look forward to the outcome of your fruitful deliberation, I also wish to assure you that the ANC, your liberation movement, continues to consider you, the labor movement, a critical pillar and partner in our efforts to strengthen state capacity and drive social transformation. We rely on you to ensure effective service delivery. On our part, as the governing party in many municipalities, it remains our duty to resolve the challenges that workers face in the workplace. I do not have to tell you that the current phase of our struggle is a deeply contested one. The counter-revolutionary forces here and abroad have been emboldened more than ever, following the strategic setback we suffered in 2024. A weakened working class can only result in a compromised and weakened African National Congress, and by extension, a weakened democratic dividend for the majority of our people. Accordingly, the capacity and impact of the South African state on the lives of ordinary South Africans hinges on the unity, strength, and ideological influence of organized labor in shaping and driving a progressive agenda. If labor fails to hold state actors accountable, then you risk diminishing your own legitimacy in the eyes of your members and that of society more broadly. And when you fall, we too shall fall. Hence, a strong SAMWU is not only in the interest of the workers, but also of the ANC and by extension, the National Democratic Revolution. The current global context is a lesson on how easy it is for the interest of the people to be hijacked and subjugated by those of the wealthy privileged. The geopolitical environment continues to tilt in what we believe is increasingly a leaning towards our shared ideals of multipolar and by extension a multilateral world. The last kicks of a dying and unipolar world continue to wreak sporadic but unsustainable havoc as the global south continues to assert itself with the headway of Chinese economic rise supported by consolidation of BRICS, among others. Militarily, the world has become a dangerous place, with continued acts of impunity by the state of Israel as it continues undeterred with the genocidal ethnic cleansing in Gaza. As you know, we continue to stand by Palestine, as we also continue to call for peace in Sudan, South Sudan, and the DRC. The withdrawal of our forces from the DRC is not to abandon, but strengthen the peace process in that country. Similarly, we continue to call for peaceful resolution of the Ukrainian conflict. We also continue to call for an end to the Moroccan occupation of the Western Sahara, an end to the Cuba blockade, democratization in Eswatini. As we are poised to host the G20 summit, we will be sharing with the world our values for a just international order premised on the sovereignty of states and the universal respect for human and socio-economic rights. In July, we will be hosting the Liberation Movement, which remains an important platform to forge solidarity in the regions against forces sponsored to reverse the gains of our political freedom. As I conclude, allow me to reiterate the importance of the sphere of local government in improving the lives of our people. You are at the coalface of meeting the basic needs of our people in various ways. Although there are some encouraging signs, it is no exaggeration to suggest that our local government system is in a bad state. It requires a fundamental reset and overhaul in a variety of areas, including capacity, performance, leadership, connection with local communities, and general internal relations. As we approach the next local government elections, we wish to call upon SAMWU and the ANC at provincial and regional level to work to strengthen working together in crafting local campaign issues that respond directly to the needs of our communities. As I have indicated, we should interface at the highest level to ease cooperation on the ground. The General Secretary of SAMWU and I should be able to talk directly to resolve mutual and various challenges facing our workers and the communities that they serve. I therefore take this opportunity to remind you that you are also a critical partner of the Revolutionary Alliance between the ANC and the Progressive Labour Movement. In that capacity, SAMWU has a revolutionary obligation to facilitate and actively drive informative change where it operates. We need to admit, comrades, that in many instances where wrongdoing has happened and it was fudged under the carpet, in many instances it is SAMWU workers who have come to the rescue and who have come up and exposed the wrongdoing and the rot in some of the municipalities that we are leading. And that role you play, comrades, is much appreciated. The ANC-led municipalities will never turn the performance and service delivery corner without the active involvement and participation of our partner on the ground, SAMWU. Some of the key areas of immediate cooperation include working together in identifying and attending to the most pressing reforms required to strengthen the sector. Work together on municipal delimitation or demarcation issues, including making frank proposals with respect to economically and financially non-viable municipalities. Work collaboratively in the policy discussions around the grading of municipalities. In this regard, we should always be guided by the growth and developmental interests of our communities. Collectively find solutions to the budgetary shortfalls confronting many municipalities, especially where such shortfalls have impacted on salaries. The relationship between the ANC and SAMWU is primarily a relationship between fellow comrades and partners, pursuing a common objective of national liberation and socio-economic development. This relationship is above and should inform and guide the employer-employee dynamic. The unity of the ANC and the unity of the labor movement is indispensable for the viability of each and or both. If one fails, the other will certainly be affected. The ANC needs SAMWU, and I'm certain that as SAMWU, you will not want to contend with a reactionary governing party. And we agree, comrades, and contend with you a mechanism between the ANC and SAMWU, as much as some of the matters belong to the bargaining chamber, but politically persuasion, we must open up a platform of engagement at the highest level and even in the provinces, because workers in the municipalities under the leadership and stewardship of SAMWU, most of them belong to the African National Congress. And you marched to Lutuli House, you took me out of the building, and today we stand here, you have won that particular case in the Constitutional Court. Even though you were singing very nice songs, Noguti nizongshaya ngereza. So it worked. So you have indicated, comrades, that you were right in fighting for what it is just and correct. And long live SAMWU, long live, and long live the ANC, long live the SACP, long live COSATU, long live SANCO, long live the Revolutionary Alliance, long live. Amandla. Thank